headphones, plug in tight, press start, no pause, it's a podcast night. From the 8-bit worlds to the anime skies, Dark Matter D-pad keeps the passion alive. Dark Matter D-pad is the place to be, where gamers and dreamers find synergy. TCN and K-Dawg, they're leading the way, from Mushroom Kingdom nights to Hyrule days. Dark Matter D-pad.
Hello everyone and welcome to Dark Matter D-Pad episode 9. Today we have a continuation of one of our previous episodes. Originally this was going to be a different episode, but with all the recent Switch 2 stuff coming out, we wanted to make another episode about the Switch 2. So today we're going to be talking about the recent Direct that it had, all the games that's going to be coming with it during the launch month of it, and some upcoming titles that we are excited for, but we're also going to be voicing some concerns we have for the console as well. So yeah, let's get started.
First off, Nintendo Switch 2 went above and beyond my expectations.
They really did.
That trailer, or the whole Direct, was...
The whole Direct was a banger.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you and I were screaming watching that thing live.
Dude, I remember how hard we popped off when we saw a cow in Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly. So first, I guess we should talk about the console itself and then move on to the games and maybe some pros and cons. All right, so 1080p in handheld mode, 4K when docked mode, and HDR for docked and handheld. That's amazing for Nintendo. To some, that's like, well, shouldn't a regular game console be like that? Yes, but Nintendo hasn't made quality their priority all the time.
They've always gone quantity over quality.
Sometimes. I mean, their quality of the games is good for what they put out, but anything third party, it's just, no.
It's not awful. Really.
Yeah, it's not that good. The frame rate can be up to 120 FPS, and that's pretty cool.
Which is that of like a PS4 Pro or something.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of like along those, which is just nuts.
For Nintendo, it's nuts, yeah. And obviously, I was even surprised. 1080p in handheld and 4K in docked makes perfect sense to me, and I am completely happy with that.
Oh yeah, me too.
The Joy-Cons can be taken off and put back on upside down.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the reasoning is for that, but I mean, that's kind of cool.
What if they did that for like content creators? Like they just gave that like, oh, here's a challenge, play the game with the Joy-Cons upside down.
That would be a challenge that people would try to attempt.
It'd be funny. I'd try it.
Yeah, exactly. With the Switch, they were taking a big risk.
Yeah.
I think they knew they had something amazing with a console that can be handheld or a home console in just the Switch, literally. Yeah. With the Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo already knew they had a banger and they just wanted to enhance what they already had. They just went bigger and better. The price that Nintendo announced for the Switch 2 was $450. However, as of April 4th, Nintendo made an announcement.
A very displeasing announcement, to say the least.
Pre-orders for Nintendo Switch 2 in the US will not start on April 9th, 2025, in order to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions. Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch date of June 5th, 2025 is unchanged. This means that there could be a price change for Switch 2. The price could go up, the price could go down, or it could stay the exact same. While the price might change, the console will still release on June 5th. But as far as the final price goes, we don't know, and unfortunately, we have to be patient and see what updates Nintendo gives us at a later date. One thing I wanted to point out is that people are absolutely outraged by the $450 price tag. But you gotta remember something. Nintendo doesn't control the tariffs. I am positive that the $450 price tag for the Switch 2 was made in preparation for the tariffs. Now that the tariffs have actually gone into effect, Nintendo paused pre-orders so they can try and figure out where to go from here. The tariffs are not Nintendo's fault. In the Nintendo Treehouse live streams, people were just spamming drop the price, drop the price.
It was funny.
It was hilarious. But the other funny thing is that you're going to buy it. Everyone's going to buy it.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it no matter what.
You can whine and complain. You're going to buy the Switch 2 and you're going to buy Mario Kart World. I know I am.
No questions asked. I'm buying Mario Kart.
They could charge $600 for the console. Yeah, I might have to go blow up their headquarters, but I'd still buy the console.
Oh, no.
But as kind of well, wait a minute. Going back and looking at some previous Nintendo prices, I found an interesting image. It was an image of a magazine, I believe, showing off SNES games. With the release of Donkey Kong Country 2 coming up, the price was $79.48. And for another SNES game, Killer Instinct, it was $87.98. So people are complaining about the price for the game, saying they've never been this high. That's a load of crap. The prices have been this high for Nintendo games before. And when people talk about those old games, I never hear any of them complaining about how expensive they were. The price back then for Donkey Kong Country 2 was $80. The price for Mario Kart World is $80. Mario Kart World is a significantly bigger game than Donkey Kong Country 2. I think people are kind of jumping the gun a little bit here.
Yeah.
But like I said, you're gonna buy it. Everyone's gonna buy it. Totally. There are a couple accessories for Nintendo Switch 2. There's the Nintendo Switch 2 at $450, Nintendo Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World for $500, Switch 2 Pro Controller, $80, Switch 2 Camera, $50, Switch 2 Joy-Con, $90, Switch 2 Dock, $105, and Switch 2 Charging Grip, $35. A lot of accessories. When I buy Switch 2, I'm going to try to just get the regular Switch 2, one Pro Controller, copy of Mario Kart World, and the carrying case.
Yeah, it's probably the best plan of action.
There are many more accessories here, but it would take a while for me to go through all of them, so I will not. Another thing about Switch 2 that we got to see a look at was the UI, and that was a big disappointment.
Yeah, it just did not change at all. It's the same. It's literally just the same thing.
We don't know if there are themes. I found the screenshot on X showing off Mario Kart World in that display area for the games, and it looks identical. Maybe the buttons are a little more colored on the home menu, but that's about it.
I want themes. Give me themes.
Hopefully themes are available. We don't know. I do not think it would be a smart decision for Nintendo to just have everything be the same UI-wise, especially when they said in the Direct, it is not just another Switch. It was rebuilt from the ground up. So yeah. I'm choosing to believe that there are themes. We just haven't seen them yet. Another thing is that apparently the battery is worse on the Switch 2 versus the original Switch. Yeah. All I have to really say about it is I'm not too concerned about that, because I do not believe this will be the only version of Switch 2 that we will get.
We're probably going to get like a Switch 2 Pro or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Nintendo has said in several interviews that once a console releases, they are already working on the next one. The 3DS released, they started working on the 2DS. When the Wii U released, they started working on the Switch. When the Switch released, they probably started working on the Switch Lite or the Switch 2 or whatever. If we look at the timing, the original Nintendo Switch released in 2017. In 2019, we got the Switch Lite, and in 2021, we got the Switch OLED. If that same pattern is followed, 2025, Switch 2, 2027, Switch 2 Lite, 2029, Switch 2 OLED. And I believe that is where they will fix the battery problems or any other issues that they have. I think this is more of a test model to see like, oh, well, what could we improve for like a Pro model or an XL or whatever the heck they release down the line.
Exactly.
The next thing we're going to bring up is literally Nintendo Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo showed off Game Chat in that Switch 2 Direct, and it looks really funny. PlayStation was able to use Discord, and Nintendo said, screw that, we're making our own.
Yeah, we're going to make our own voice chat, and it's going to be bad. Deal with it.
And the cameras that they provided look terrible quality.
It looked like shit.
And the screen sharing, don't even get me started. The quality will probably improve if all the players who are online are connected to Ethernet.
Yeah, hopefully.
It looked like ass.
It looked like dog cheese.
It was not good. I mean, it's funny, but it's not. I'd rather just call you up on Discord on my phone and just go, hey, let's play Mario Kart World.
Then it would actually be, if we wanted to show it, it would be decent.
Yeah, and use a capture card to stream the gameplay, not the inbuilt stuff. I mean, it's cool what they're trying to attempt.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they needed to do a little more work on it first.
Yeah, this feels like a kind of a work in progress model.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe that's an early stage of it. They could probably update it down the line, so we don't know.
Yeah.
The next thing we want to talk about is Nintendo Switch Online. They announced GameCube for Switch 2. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't kind of expect they were going to do that at some point, but I didn't know they were going to save it for the Switch 2, which is nice.
Yeah, there's kind of a negative part to that.
Really?
GameCube is only available for people with Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack that have a Switch 2. So if you have if you have a Switch 1 and you also have the expansion pack, there's no GameCube for you. You have to have a Switch 2 in order to play GameCube.
Which is kind of stupid.
But I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want GameCube? Buy a Switch 2, then you'll get GameCube. It makes sense. They need more money, apparently. So, yeah. Also, Nintendo 64 is actually getting a change.
Really?
Nintendo announced that there's a CTR filter, button mapping, and a rewind feature like the NES and SNES has. So let's say you're playing Mario 64, you make a wrong jump, hold ZR, ZL, rewind it so you never made the jump.
Oh, that's actually kind of a W.
Yeah, but this is only on Switch 2. This will not apply to the
stupid.
Switch 1. So if you want those features, you got to get a Switch 2. Now we're going to talk about probably the two biggest games coming to Switch 2 this year. Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Our boy's finally getting some love.
Exactly. Obviously, there's like Metroid Prime 4, but neither of us really know anything about the Metroid Prime series, so we aren't going to be talking about that. We don't know any of that Prime lore.
The Amazon Prime lore.
Exactly. Metroid Prime lore and Amazon Prime lore. It's the same thing. Let's start off with Mario Kart World.
Oh, yeah.
So
we got to start with a big one.
I shit my pants when I saw it.
Dude, I did not expect them to go that crazy with a new Mario Kart game. We're getting wall jumping, rail grinding, costumes, so much that we think we thought we never needed, but we will gladly accept.
Yeah, Nintendo clearly went above and beyond for Mario Kart World. From watching some footage, it has been confirmed that, including costumes, there are around 84 characters.
84?
Around that.
That's nuts!
I don't believe we've been shown all of them. There are around 84, including the costumes for like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Wario, Waluigi, Bowser, etc., etc. You can play as the damn cow from Moo Moo Meadows.
You can play as that cow from Moo Moo Meadows. You can play as the penguin from...
play as a Kdawgrex, a Pokey.
You can play as a crab.
Yeah, as a crab. There are so many characters. This is like a whole everyone is here type game. I do not see Nintendo stopping at 84. I believe there's either 85 or 100. I don't think Nintendo would just stop at 84. And who knows about DLC later. The carts are now fully built. There's no more cart customization. All
They're kind of taking it back to Mario Kart
pre-built. Yeah, just like Mario Kart Wii. You select a cart, it's already pre-built with the stats. Can't change any of that. I'm not too upset about that change. Some people are, but you know.
I wonder if they're trying to make it a little less competitive and a little more just fun.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, the free roam mode, that definitely speaks to that.
Oh yeah, totally.
Items are automatically held behind you, so you don't need to hold the Z button anymore. They automatically drag behind you, which is a great feature. It looks like gliders are gone, and the carts just have wings when they fly.
Yeah, they just turn into planes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've seen some of the Nintendo Treehouse footage of the Grand Prix. The first race, like let's say for example, is in Mario Bros. Circuit. First race, you drive around that course 3 times. The next race is driving to the next course. The third race is driving to the final course, and the fourth race is the final course. It's a journey. I love that.
Yeah, we're going for a ride.
It is definitely a road trip. And Mario can eat a cheeseburger now. That's awesome. Eats a cheeseburger and then he turns into Tourist Mario or Chef Mario or whatever. Nintendo really went all out with the costumes. They brought back several costumes from Tour and they added several new costumes like Taco Stand Waluigi.
Finally.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, for the full disclaimer, he nearly busted when he saw that.
I plead the fifth. Moving on to the next game, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Aww.
We finally get a brand new 3D Donkey Kong, and it looks to be open world.
That hasn't happened since like the 1990s.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong Bonanza also explains Donkey Kong's design choice in Mario Kart World.
Oh.
That makes a lot of sense now, because I'm like, why would they just change him out of nowhere? Now it makes sense. Donkey Kong Bonanza straight up looks like Mario Odyssey 2.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it makes sense because it looks like it's being made by the same team that made Odyssey at Nintendo. Actually, the whole game of Donkey Kong Bonanza reminds me of the section during the final boss of Odyssey when you're playing as Bowser and you just run around smashing everything with your claws.
Oh, yeah.
That's basically what the whole game is going to be. And it looks incredible. It's like I can just run around with Donkey Kong punching shit. That sounds so much fun. That sounds like a huge stress reliever.
It does.
Also looks like Pauline is going to be making an appearance in the game, or a younger version of Pauline will be in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Nintendo of Korea's website accidentally posted an alternate version of the main key art for the game case. In this version, you can see Pauline, or a young version of Pauline, holding onto DK's tie with an excited look on her face, versus the original version of the art where you see Odd Rock near Donkey Kong's shoulder. Nintendo of Korea has since taken down the image, but people were able to screenshot it and such, so yeah. Some people are speculating that this could actually be Pauline's daughter. We noticed that she's wearing a purple stone bracelet on her left wrist. There are some theories going around that Pauline, or young Pauline, is connected to Odd Rock in some way, but we don't know. It looks to be that Cranky Kong would also be making an appearance in the game. He was shown off in footage from Nintendo Treehouse.
A cranky monkey.
I'm a little disappointed that we didn't see 3D Mario at the Direct, but I'm pretty sure we will see that eventually. It's also Mario's 40th anniversary this year. We're probably going to get a lot more Mario.
Dude, and Mario's anniversary is actually right around my birthday, so that's kind of nice.
I'm hoping for Mario's 40th anniversary. I think it's fair to say we will probably be getting 3D All-Stars 2, which will have Mario 64 DS, Galaxy 2, and 3D Land in it. That would be very beneficial to Nintendo because then they could say every single 3D Mario is playable on Nintendo Switch 2. That is in itself absolutely amazing.
What I do want to say is that what you said about Mario's like 30th anniversary coming up soon. 40th. With his 40th anniversary coming up soon, I think we could definitely see a potential for a new Mario 3D game, whether it's a sequel for one of the previous ones or if it's a just entirely new one. That would just be incredible.
I agree with you. I think Nintendo is choosing to take that time to dedicate it to Mario.
Yeah, but I think the next big thing that people will probably hope for after that is Smash.
Yep, I agree. Another thing we want to talk about is Nintendo Switch 2 edition of games.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it looks like the quality has been upgraded and the game runs in a smooth 60 frames per second. And from the footage that we've seen of people playing these games, it looks beautiful. Some games, like Super Mario Party Jamboree, are getting actual additional content. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild is getting a section in the Nintendo Switch app called Zelda Notes, but that's about it. It just kind of helps you locate some stuff and share designs for Tears of the Kingdom. But with Mario Party Jamboree, we get a whole new game mode called Jamboree TV. And that looks like a lot of fun. Hopefully the camera and such isn't required because you will not see my ass on the camera dancing like an idiot to that stuff. That's not going to happen. So hopefully it's optional.
I'm not going to be getting on the camera and throwing it back.
I'm not doing that. You got to pay extra to see that.
Yeah.
If you want to see that, our Venmo is in the bio. Our Patreon's in the description if you want that.
We'll do a live stream when it drops.
Exactly.
Anytime you donate, we'll throw it back on Mario Party Jamboree.
Oh god.
What did we just diverge into?
I don't know. One person's gonna donate $50,000 to say, "Show me them cheeks."
All right, well, give them what he paid for.
All right. It also looks like for Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, the upgrade to Switch 2 edition is going to be free for NSO expansion pack members.
Oh, nice.
I guess for Mario Party Jamboree, if you already own the game, you can buy an upgrade pack, if that's what it was called.
Yeah, upgrade packs so that you don't have to like rebuy the game.
And that's really nice. I actually really appreciate Nintendo doing that because I don't want to rebuy a $60 game, now $70, just for a couple new features. We don't know how much these upgrade packs are going to cost. Hopefully they're between $5 and $10, and that makes sense. That's okay. I'm all right to pay that price. But if they're like $20, that's just a big no. Some confirmed titles that will receive free Switch 2 patches are ARMS Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World, Clubhouse Games, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom, Game Builder Garage, Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Big Brain Academy versus Brain. So yeah, I'm glad Nintendo is actually having some free upgrades available, and it's not you have to pay a certain amount of money for every single game you own. I'm really hoping to see Mario 3D All-Stars get an upgrade. That would be amazing. I would love it if they took Mario 64 and put it into 16:9 instead of 4:3 for the screen.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we know at the moment. We had to make an update.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's a lot of potential with what Nintendo can do. I am really, really excited for Switch 2. I just hope I can get my hands on one day one. I will beat an old lady with a stick if I need to. We're super excited to see what Nintendo has cooking for the Switch 2. I believe we're going to be feasting for a while.
We definitely got some potential incoming. All right, so that's the end of episode 9. Thank you all so much for tuning in and hearing our excitement for the Switch 2. We hope you guys are hyped for it as much as we are. And we will see you all in episode 10. Peace.
We'll see you later.